Hey, I want to make this point, though, and I'm going to ask Stipe if he calls in, and I hope that he will concede this point. Alistair Overeem did not lie when he said Stipe tapped. Now, he was wrong, but he wasn't lying, and my point is he really did believe it. Now, he could have felt a million different things. He could have felt Stipe coming in to defend. He could have imagined it. Don't forget he had just been knocked out. He could have felt the mat. As silly as that sounds, but when you're moving in those positions, you don't know the difference from when your arm bumps the mat. I mean, there's turmoil going on out there. And Reem was not being a liar. He was just wrong. And Rogan came out after the fact. All right, is this Stipe calling in, Jacob? Will you connect him? We'll pick this up with the champ and see what he has to say. The champ is here. Stipe, what's going on, pal?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Hey, congratulations. That was incredible. Tell me this and try to tell me as honestly as you can be with yourself. What was your emotions like being in Cleveland, having the crowd on your side, having all of that pressure, the Punk fight had just happened, the Verdum damn near melee breaks out, and now you got to make the walk. What was that like?
It was crazy. You know, I was pretty good, but it was a little nerve-wracking. I think, I don't want to let the city of Cleveland down.
Yeah, no, I could imagine. I was watching you, and, man, your body language was good and your face was good, and I just thought he's hiding it. He's hiding it because he's got to be feeling that. The media tour, the pressure, being the champ, just everything that you had to deal with, and then you got Overeem standing in front of you. That's not a great day.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I felt pretty good. My coaches were light loose in the back, having a good time, you know, joking and stuff, but you know, it was a little nerve-wracking, but, you know, then he countered that punch. I think I was like, all right, I'm done. Enough's enough.
Enough. Hey, let me ask you this. I want to set it up this way, and tell me if you disagree, but so much was made of the post-fight. Overeem had said that you tapped in the guillotine. They re-showed it, no tap. They re-showed it from another angle to cut any conspiracy. There was no tap. But I would like to offer this, and tell me if you disagree. Overeem wasn't lying when he said that you tapped. He was just wrong, right? There was turmoil. He got knocked out. Your hand came up for a defense. He's rolling around on the canvas. There's all these different things. Overeem was not being a scumbag liar. He was just wrong. Is that fair?
Yeah, I mean, he's wrong. Plus, you know, I did just knock him out too, so he probably wasn't all there. You know, I've been there. It's not a fun situation. So, you know, I mean, I don't fault him at all. You know, I'm not mad at him.
Now, I couldn't tell this on the pay-per-view, but Overeem said that this had happened in the fight. Rogan and the truck get all queued up, and they play the replay. And then when it finally cuts to you, it looked as though when Reem started saying that you went back to the octagon like you were going to respond to that. Did any of that happen, or was that just my view? What happened in the arena with you when you heard him make the claim that you had tapped out to the guillotine?
Oh, I didn't. I was getting checked out by a doctor and get my paycheck.
Okay. See,
I wasn't worried about what he was going to say or whatever he said. I just heard the crowd go boo.
On the pay-per-view, when it cut back and it just showed you, it looked like you were real close to that octagon door, and I just kind of made that connection on my own. Oh, man, I wonder if Stipe was headed back in there to respond to Overeem's response. All right, so let's fast forward. We got to play this game. What do you think's going to be next? I thought it was going to be Kane. I thought they were aligning Kane, but boy, Verdum makes a fair point, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not good at that stuff. I'm just a fighter. I'm not a matchmaker. So, you know, whatever the UFC wants me to do, you know, I want to fight. I'm a champ. So what they bring in front of me, I'm going to fight them and I'm going to win.
Yeah, fair enough, man. That's such a tough division. You know, and parity in the heavyweights is not something that your guys' weight class has historically. There's usually a couple of guys where there's a guy. Man, it's a pick 'em right now. Whether you want to, obviously they're not going to redo Overeem, but boy, he's right up there. I think that it's going to be between Kane and Verdum, but there's plenty of guys, man. There's just so many guys. You don't have a preference whether you get the rematch with Verdum or you get some fresh blood in Velasquez?
Yeah, I mean, whether you want me to fight, I'll fight, man. Listen, I'm not going to pick and choose when I fight. I'm going to keep this belt for a long time, so whoever they put in front of me, I'm going to beat.
Yeah, well, it's kind of hard to disagree with your track record. I'll tell you this coming into this fight. I always like to break down the intangibles. And I was in Brazil. I was the single guy on his feet clapping when you walked out to fight Maldonado. And the deck was so stacked against you, man. They wanted Maldonado. It was the last fight. He was giving up a little size, which puts pressure on you. Now you're supposed to win. Then he's good at what you're good at. Now you could out-wrestle him, but at that point in your career, you became Joe Boxer. Well, that's what he does. He's a really good boxer. And I remember how you walked into that arena. You were calm as could be. You landed your shots, and you went home in the first round. You then basically duplicate that against Verdum. And it dawns on me, man, this guy does his best work on the road. So when they threw you in Cleveland, I thought Stipe might have a problem that he doesn't even know about, which is fighting at home. And it looked like it was just the opposite. I mean, it looked like you were thriving off of those guys.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I have the best coaches in the world. You know, I mean, they get me ready for every fight. I'm confident walking in, I'm going to win. And so, you know, walking into Brazil, I mean, no pressure, man. I'm just going to go out and do my thing. You know, it's just between me and him in the octagon. So, you know, Cleveland was a little bit different. But, you know, listen, man, it's business as usual.
Now, your work as a fireman, you get any days off, or are you on the schedule this week?
I'm working Thursday night. I actually had to go in for a couple hours today for a class.
That's just the coolest thing, man. It's the coolest thing in all of fighting. I knew you were on the schedule somewhere. I just knew that was going to be your answer. I hope you don't change, buddy. See, this is a great thing to extending the show to 3 days a week. We got to get to 4 and 5 days a week. There isn't a day I wake up and I don't have some kind of a thought on my mind that I want to come in here and share. But I want to tell the people this because the people have been helping me. Audible.com/Chael. It's audiobooks, guys. If you're anything like, here's the deal, and it's got to be
Thanks to Dan Patrick.
I got to know this. And people, when I told them on Twitter that you were coming on, I had so many people. Here, I'm summarizing about 20 different questions. Did you get any sleep? How late did the after party go?
I didn't get any sleep. We went to the after party. We left the one bar at 2:30. Went to like a more discreet, private restaurant. We went to, you know, someone that owned it, so they kept it open to like, I don't know, like 5:30, 6:30. I think 6:30 everyone left. We left about 5, and then I got like literally half an hour sleep, and then I wasn't even drinking. I was just so like, I guess I was just up, man. I couldn't fall asleep.
Yeah.
I was going still.
No, I get it, man. They love you out there too. I mean, I saw your stuff with the Browns. I saw the stuff that you get. Man, it's a really cool thing how much Cleveland has not only embraced this sport but has embraced you. I mean, if you look back, Stipe, 10 years ago, we were a fringe sport, man. People aren't giving you that kind of respect. They're going, that's weird. What's he doing in there? Now all of a sudden, I mean, you're giving speeches and getting speeches right back from the NFL guys. It's a pretty cool thing.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. Like I'm so grateful for every opportunity I get. You know, do the Browns, going to the Cavs game, get the DP with the Indians, do the parade in Cleveland that was like one of the greatest moments of my life.
I saw that. I couldn't believe how deep the people went. I saw you in that car riding down, holding the belt. Man, there was people 10 and 15 rows back.
Yeah, it was 1.3 million. They said.
Wow. All right. Hey, give me your take of the CM Punk thing. I personally watched it, and I come in this a little bit biased, being pals with Punk. But I left there going, man, not for nothing, but he tried. He got lost. He got confused on what to do with technique and where the fence was and how to get the guy off him. I acknowledge all of those things, but he didn't give up. I mean, he went out there and tried. Is that fair?
Listen, man, he walked in there never having a fight, and he fought a guy that's been training for a long time, and he gave it all he's got. Listen, not many people could do what he did.
Yeah, and see, that was my takeaway, too. And he said he wants to do it again. I don't know that he'll be given that option. I don't know. But frankly, I don't know that it matters. I mean, the guy's had nothing but a successful life. He's a nice guy. He got to chalk this off his list. And, yeah, maybe he's in over his head. Whatever. Maybe he started 10 years too late. He's 37. It was worth my $50, man. I got no regrets for what just happened. I thought it was fun.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Listen, yeah, 100%. Listen, man, I give him all the credit for training as hard as he did for 2 years and going out there and give it all he's got because not many people will actually do it. A lot of people just sit there and be behind a keyboard and just talk smack. You know, he's the one that went out there and did it himself. And, unfortunately, it wasn't the outcome he wanted, but he still went out and did it.
So your name just came out of somebody's mouth, and it kind of surprised me. And there's always been some talk on Jon Jones. He's always kind of flirted with heavyweight a little bit. Never pulled the trigger, but he brought you up, and he said you would be the challenge of a lifetime, which was a tremendously respectful way of inserting himself into it. Do you think that that fight is possible? Is Jon Jones ever going to come up? And if you got that call, what do you say?
Well, I mean, yeah, I would definitely take the fight. I mean, it'd be a great fight. I think it'd be awesome. It'd be a great super fight. You know, and who knows? You know, I mean, he's a nice guy. You know, I've talked to him multiple times. You know, he's always been really respectful to me, and you know, likewise to him. But you know, whatever they want. You know, I mean, listen, I'm a fighter, man. That's what I do.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I guess I keep waiting for it to wear off, man. The run that you've been on has been so unbelievable. You want to know what the very first time I watched you fight, I remember finding you in the back afterwards, and I just wanted to say hello because I knew you were going to go places. But the fight that really turned things for me, you came in second, but it was the Dos Anjos fight, and that was an arguable call. I will concede that, but boy, you went 25 minutes. It was hard. He was hitting you, and you were hitting him, and he wasn't backing down, and you weren't backing down. And, I mean, that was the night when I just went, that's the guy. That's going to be the world champion right there. Where does Dos Anjos fit into the heavyweight picture?
Yeah, you know what? JDS, man, he's right there, too, man. That guy, you know, he's tough. He hits hard. You know, he's a super great guy, too, man. I hate fighting that guy because he's such a nice guy. You know, but, he's right up there, man. He's beat, you know, Rothwell there, you know, and he looks really good fighting Rothwell. I mean, so, you know, who knows? You know, like I said, it's up to UFC, man. If I was a matchmaker, I wouldn't be fighting then.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that. Are there any changes with the new ownership? Is there anything that you felt? Have you had meetings, or is it just business as usual?
So far, business as usual. Nothing's really changed.
And who sets up your fights? Do you deal with Dana directly or Joe Silva?
I think Joe Silva, but it might change now. Who knows? Because you know, I think Joe Silva's retiring, right?
Yeah, he said he was going to step down. I think he gave him like 30 days as opposed to the standard 2 weeks. But we're already about 2 weeks into that, and that's a big question mark too, because that's not just a job anybody can do. There's a lot of moving parts to that matchmaking position, and I guess that was really my question to you. What are they going to do there? Who are you going to start dealing with? Do you have any insight?
No, I have no insight. We'll find out. So once they give me the call, so someone will call me.
All right, that's awesome. Stipe, I appreciate your time, man. I hate bugging you post-fight week. I know what it's like, and all you want to do is kind of regress a little bit, bury yourself and put your head in the sand and duck away. I appreciate you calling in. Is there anything you want to get off your chest to the listeners?
No, just thank you so much for all the support, and you know you're the ones that make the sport what it is.
Yeah, you're a good man. Thank you, champ.
Yes, have a great day.
Boom, Stipe Miocic.